I started copywriting on the 21st of June 2023, and since then I've made a lot of mistakes, but most of those mistakes were when I was beginning. So I'm making this video so you can learn from those mistakes and also do what I wish I could have done. Tip number 10, don't waste time. And this isn't just while you're writing copy or when you're doing work for clients, but this is also on your time in general. Don't waste time doing anything unnecessary like video games, social media, scrolling, and all of these other stuff that you've probably heard countless of times. Don't waste any time. Don't waste time when you're doing your client work. You shouldn't waste time doing any of these things because at the end of the day, you can use all of that time and put it into your work. And by not wasting time in the future, you won't be thinking to yourself, oh, if only I spent more time doing this, maybe I would have got a client by now. If I was doing this and if I was doing that, you not wasting time and you focusing solely on your business and on your copywriting will take away that regret that you have for wasting time, because that's what happens all the time. When you waste time, you regret it. So you have to make that stick in your head so you don't waste time. Now, this is not just for time in general, but this is also for client work. If you're doing client work and you know it's easy, oh, I just need to write an email, oh, I just need to do this. Because copywriting, let's face it, copywriting is easy. So you're going to go through times where you're going to be like, oh, I can leave this till later because it's easy, so I can just do it just like that. But by you procrastinating, because that's what it is, you're just going to leave it to last minute. And then your client is going to expect work to be done earlier. And side note, if you do stuff earlier, then your client is going to take that in and be like, okay, this person is responsible. I want to keep them for longer. But by you procrastinating, all you're doing is making the job harder for yourself. You're putting more stress on yourself. So just get it over and done with. Just get the client work out with, because that's the top priority anyway. So you should do that first thing when you wake up, first thing in the morning. Just do your client work, get it out the way, done, simple. But you also shouldn't waste your time watching copywriting content. And I know this is a bit ironic because you're literally watching this video, but you shouldn't. Watching copywriting content is a coping mechanism. You get a false sense of achievement, a false sense of progress because you're watching more copy and you're gaining more knowledge, right? But in reality, you're not. You're just hearing the same thing over and over again. And then when you get to another roadblock, you just do the same thing. And it's just a cycle of wasting more time. So don't do that. Tip number 9, feedback from other copywriters. As a beginner copywriter, feedback is crucial. If you're able to get a mentor, then get a mentor, because the most successful copywriters had one. If you're able to get a mentor, get a mentor, because feedback is probably one of the most important things as a beginner copywriter. You gaining feedback, especially from someone with experience, by them telling you, okay, you shouldn't do this, you should do this. This part is good, but this section needs a little bit more work. And the easiest way to get feedback, if you don't have enough money to get feedback from a mentor, then just join a Discord, join a Telegram, join a group, a community of copywriters where they can help you, where they can show you how to do or show you how to make better copy. Then you will succeed. Tip number 8, read copywriting based books. Read books on copywriting, books on advertising, books on sales, on manipulation, stuff like dark psychology. Copywriting is sales in word form, and sales is dark psychology. Sales is manipulating the person or the buyer or the consumer into purchasing the product. Now, you're using this in a good way, I imagine, right? You're using this in a good way because the product that you're going to be selling will actually help your customers. So learn dark psychology, learn advertising, learn all of these things related to copywriting through books, because most of the time books will actually be embedded in your brain as opposed to watching a video. Because when you're watching a video, you have the habit of drifting away, because usually you watch video or video content to be entertained. So you're going to easily drift away as when you're entertained, because that's just natural habit to you. So there's a difference between entertainment and learning, and you need to make that difference. You need to make that difference clear in your brain. So you should read books on stuff that you want to learn. Tip number 7, experience over knowledge. I don't care how many videos you watch. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many courses you take. If you still haven't even gotten one client, if you still haven't even gone out there and written emails for someone, or create a landing page for someone, or made a YouTube script for someone, if you haven't done any of these things, you're never going to progress. You're never going to make money. You can know all of these things. You can know how to create a perfect email, how to create a perfect landing page. But if you haven't actually done it, if you haven't even gained that experience, then it's just all in your brain. You haven't actually learned anything. You just know it. You haven't learned anything. So make sure gaining experience is your priority instead of gaining knowledge. Someone that hasn't touched an ounce of copywriting knowledge and hasn't watched any copywriting video, and the first thing that they did was read a book, got a little bit of knowledge, and just practice from there on out, that person will probably be a better copywriter than the person who's gotten 100 different courses, and just hasn't done anything. That person is technically more experienced, even though they don't know as much. So make experience your priority and not knowledge. Tip number 6, read your notes back. If you're taking a copywriting course, if you're reading books, and when you're gaining your knowledge and you're writing notes, read them back. Don't just leave them there. Don't just write the notes for no reason and not touch them afterwards, because that's what I've done. I've got 2 notebooks full of copywriting knowledge and stuff to help me improve my copywriting. But I never touched it once. I never touched it once at all. It just sat there. So realistically, I just wasted all of that time writing it down. I should have just watched the video and just went on. Should have just took the course and went on. But no, I wrote it down because I knew that I would need it in the future. But when the future came, I never actually used it. So when you write your notes, actually read them back, actually go through them and apply what you're reading. Apply what you're reading. And this is like a little bonus tip and like a little sub tip. When you write your notes, don't just go on a binge of notes. Don't just write. Write something, then take action. Write something, take action, do it, put it into experience, and then go on to the next part. Write that thing, take action, and keep making it a cycle. Tip number 5, sign up to newsletters. People like Andrew Tate or Iman Gaji, or there's a copywriter called Zarak. I'm probably butchering his name, but you get the idea. People that you know that are going to have good copy in their newsletters, or they have good copy on their landing pages, sign up to those things, sign up to their newsletter. And every day, whenever you get a copy, whenever you get a piece of email, whenever you've come across any type of copy, analyze it, see what they're doing, see how they're trying to persuade their customers, see what they're selling, see how they sell it, see the connection there, whether it's a sales email or whether it's one just to build rapport. Analyze these emails from these top copywriters. Analyze them and learn from them. Tip number 4, write demo emails. Now, what I mean by this is, if you found a product, any type of product or service that you think you can write a copy on, you think you can make a landing page on, or you can make an email on, a sales email, any type of things, or maybe a YouTuber, and you think you can write a script for a video idea in their niche. Write a demo piece of copy. And this tip is simple. There's not really much to it, but just practice every day. Just practice. There's not really much to this tip apart from practicing. Just every day, write a demo email on something just to gain that experience. Tip number 3, organized outreach. Now, I don't mean just outreach in general, because yes, outreach is good in general, but what I mean by organized is that you need to make it organized, obviously. You need to have a sheet of it. You need to organize every single one of your prospects. You need to organize how many times you've followed up to them. You need to organize how many times they've replied. You need to organize if they've hopped on a sales call, if you've closed them or not. You need to organize all of this thing into like a massive sheet, because you don't want it to just get hectic and not remember who you've reached out to, not remember who you're looking forward to reply. You need to make it organized so you're actually able to go forward with it with ease, instead of doing rubbish now and then struggling later on. Tip number 2, daily newsletter emails. Now, I don't mean just write an email every day. Create a newsletter. If you have a personal brand, which you should have, tell however many of your followers, just tell them to subscribe to the newsletter, and every day write an email on that newsletter talking about whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Just write an email every day. Now, this is one of those exercises that gives you experience on writing copy, and you're going to gain experience writing copy, but you're also going to be able to get feedback from the people who you're sending it out to. Those same people that you've met in that copywriting group we talked about earlier, you can tell them to subscribe, and then they can get feedback from your emails from there, as well as other copies that you're sending them, whether it's a landing page or a YouTube script, etc. Tip number 1. Now, this is probably what I think is the most important tip out of all of them. This is because this will define how much time you spend writing copy, how much time you spend thinking about what you need to write, how long you need to spend trying to make the copy more concise. And these are writing exercises. And what I mean by writing exercises is practicing and training your writing skills and your typing skills. The reason for this is for you to be able to type as fast as possible while also making sense and being as concise as possible. Because at the end of the day, when you can type fast, when you can type good copy fast, then you're going to spend 20 minutes minimum, 20 minutes max, doesn't matter, on just an email. Or you'll spend at least 40 minutes on a landing page. If you can write good copy fast and you can learn and train how to do that, then you're going to be a beast. Your client is going to be very happy with you, and they'll be more likely to send you over to one of their business friends or whatever. You'll be able to get more clients like that because you're going to be such a good copywriter that when you ask for more businesses for you to write copy, then your client is just going to accept it because they know you're able to handle it. Now, this writing exercise is just typing. Now, you're probably wondering what I mean by that. So let me explain. Just open up a Google Doc or a Word, whatever you use, and just type away. It can be about anything. It can be a story. It can be about a product. It can be about anything. I don't care. Just type away. Just keep typing. Don't stop. If you make a mistake, doesn't matter. Don't stop. Keep going. Just continue typing. Doesn't matter for how long. 30 minutes maybe. That's probably a good start. And just type for that long. Just type. Don't stop for any mistake. Don't stop for a sentence that doesn't make sense. Just keep typing. And over time, you're going to make less mistakes. Over time, you're going to be more concise. Over time, you're going to write faster. And that's what matters.
All right. First off, I'll say thank you, Ally, for letting me hop on this video and tell you guys 10 tips I wish I knew when I started copywriting. You know, Ally's been my boy for a while now. He's honestly one of the coolest people I've met in this online space, really good copywriter. So again, I just appreciate him letting me come on this video and share some stuff with you guys. But first thing that I wanted to talk about was remembering to position yourself as a problem solver rather than a copywriter. And I'll explain what I mean by that. But first, I'll tell you where I came to this realization. I actually heard it online somewhere. I was watching a YouTube video, and the YouTube video was titled like how to get your first paid copywriting client. And in that video, there was this guy who had like 12 years of copywriting experience, and he was talking about why every single time he's positioned himself as a copywriter, it hasn't worked out for him compared to a problem solver. So he'd come to these companies and be like, hey, like, I'm a copywriter, let me come write this blog for you. And people would laugh it off. Like, hey, like my niece knows how to write. Like my niece can copywrite. Like what makes you any different than my niece? Like I can get a 16-year-old to write this blog or email for me. Like, or I can use AI. That's a common objection you can get now. But the way he started to position himself from that point forward was, let me help you solve the problem of your emails are not getting you more clients, or let me help you solve the problem of your website's not getting you more clients. What are some of the like results from your copywriting skills? Remember, your copy is a tool. It's not actually what is helping you solve the problem. It's just a tool you use to solve a certain problem. So if you can position yourself as a problem solver rather than a copywriter, it's going to be hard to make you as irreplaceable when you're confronting these clients about what work you're trying to do with them. So remember, be a problem solver, not a copywriter. Copywriting is a tool that you use to solve problems. Next, I want you to ask why to literally everything. And I don't mean like to just copywriting. Like, you should apply this to your life. This is the 9th tip, by the way, ask why. But whenever you're writing some sort of copy, whenever you're analyzing some sort of copy, you should ask why. Why does this line work? Why is it so interesting? Why is it not interesting? And answer that question. If you can start asking why and really breaking down your understanding of everything that you're doing from when you're writing, analyzing, whatever it is, you're going to realize you're going to become a lot more confident in whatever you're working on. That's why I said this doesn't just apply in copywriting. This applies to your life as well. If you start asking yourself why I'm making this decision, why I'm thinking this, why I have this thought, why I'm going this route rather than this route, you're going to just have a lot more information to back up your decision. And that's what makes you also more prepared as a copywriter. If you understand what is going on, why something works or why it's interesting to you, you're going to have that, you're going to use that and you're going to apply it in other cases of writing your copy. So for example, let's say you break down a hook and you're like, wow, I really see that he's like every single hook that I look at, there's a pattern. They're calling out a dream outcome and that's what's getting people like really hooked. Whenever I read a good headline, in my opinion, it's always got the dream outcome. Let's say the dream outcome is to make money. They highlight making money in the headline. That's an example of asking why, coming to a conclusion, and using that to better your understanding and your skill set as a copywriter. And like I said, anywhere else in life. So 8th tip is building systems and frameworks to write more copy or to write copy more efficiently. And so it's probably not a good idea to just use templates when writing copy. Like, you don't want to just have one simple thing to always say and it's the same lines and it's robotic and you give it to every single client. But if you can have a framework where it's more so you understand what each step has to look like, and you structure your copy around that, that's going to make your copywriting a lot more efficient because you already know, hey, this is when I need to put in this step. Hey, this is when I need to put in this step. And you just have to gather the information you need to come up with the full framework and fill it out exactly. For example, I have like a YouTube scripting framework, and literally the first line is call out the dream outcome. Call out the dream outcome and do it in a controversial or attention-grabbing way. Make it some sort of pattern interrupt. And so to me, it's not one template of this is the best way to, I won't say that in every single script, but I just know as a copywriter, I need to call out their dream outcome or relate to the audience by calling out their dream outcome in that first line. And that's like kind of how you can use a framework rather than a template to write copy more efficiently. Because if you're just staring at a blank page, having to come up with everything, it's going to take a lot longer. Number 7 is practicing writing copy daily. Like, you guys should be practicing writing every single day, like minimum, because it's a skill. And the only way to get better at copywriting is by practicing and actually getting more experience in using that skill, that tool. So you can go through, you can write copy for yourself. You can write copy for dream clients. You can literally just write. Whatever you do, just write and have a purpose behind your writing. That's why a lot of people recommend doing dream outreach, where you're doing free work for clients while practicing your copy skills. It just gives you a purpose on why you're writing copy, and it helps you practice every single day. 6 is making content for your dream clients. So this is a little bit different than what I've been preaching recently. I was honestly preaching a lot of high value cold outreach, which is you send some free work to your clients, but I'm starting to understand a big difference in my client acquisition, and I want to make it aware with you guys as well, because I wish I would have known this when I started. Making content for your dream clients is one of the easiest ways to build your competence or build your social proof without any results. You literally could have 0 clients, and if you are making YouTube videos teaching people how to write copy, teaching people how to solve their problems specifically, because remember, we're not copywriters, we're problem solvers. If you make YouTube videos teaching them how to solve their problems, they're going to look at you with more trust. They're going to like you. You're going to build more authority around your name because you have proved your competence in the subject without having to do any client work. And that's probably going to bring you one of your first clients. I'll be honest, it did it for me. I had to just post some YouTube videos proving that I knew what I was talking about, teaching people the same things that I learned. And someone came along that video and realized, hey, I don't want to spend the time. This is too confusing. Maybe I just don't want to spend the time worrying about how to script YouTube videos at all. Like, let me work with Marcos. He obviously knows what he's talking about. And it's going to work out for you just like that. As long as you keep posting content for your dream clients that helps them solve their problems with your skill set, you're golden. You're going to have people interested in working with you. So tip number 5 is also about making content, but it's making content sharing your journey, because this is something I wish I would have known when I started. When I was working or starting my own agency, I wasn't really documenting the journey. I didn't document the entire journey really throughout my entire agency. And so that's something I want to do different with my copywriting. And I've been documenting almost every single day. I've been posting YouTube videos on my YouTube channel, by the way, which you guys can go check out. I know this is Ally's channel, but posting every single day has honestly helped me stay so much more accountable. And just by sharing my journey, because I wasn't making content for my dream clients. I messed up at first. I was making content just sharing my journey, and still just doing that helped me get one of my first paying clients. So if you can just share your journey, talk about your wins, talk about your fails, talk about what you're working on, just be authentic, be you, and just show what you're doing. Like, people are going to be interested. They're going to want to connect with you. You're going to make more friends. You're going to build your network and possibly get some opportunities for business. So it's a good idea to start sharing your journey. The next tip number 4, is analyzing copy every single day. Now, it's one thing to practice copy every single day, practice writing, but how are you going to make your copy any better if you don't know what actually works? So you guys should go look at really good swiped.co. Swiped.co. If you guys want to analyze good copy, swiped.co has literally, it's like hundreds of well-performing marketing ads, sales letters, headlines, whatever it is. You can go on swipe.co. You can study other well-performing copy, and you can use that to learn how to get better at copywriting yourself. I'll be honest, I'll go through and I'll look at Victor Schwab, I think is his name. Ryan Dace is his name. Who else? These are some copywriters that I look at. There's it's like Gary Halbert or something like that. I might be getting his name wrong, but it's the $1 sales letter. That's what I'm trying to think of right now. These are all copywriting ads or marketing ads that I've broken down on swipe.co, and I think that these are probably some of the best copy you'll ever see in your life. So I'd totally recommend going to swipe.co, analyzing copy every single day so that you get better with copywriting in general and you can get your tool a little bit sharper. Tip number 3 is make more friends in copy. So it's important to have a network. It's important to have people around you. You don't want to be alone on your journey. I'll be honest, when I was running my agency compared to this copywriting journey, I didn't have a lot of people that I could connect with in the agency space. I didn't really know anyone else running a content agency or really just doing anything like that. And I felt very lonely on my journey. And that was hard. It made me not want to be as accountable. It made me want to invest my time into other things. And if you just can have some good people around you, always pushing you, always supporting you towards your goal, it's going to make things a lot easier. And so that's why I say make some friends in copy. You guys can work together. You guys can talk about copy. You guys can talk about the things that interest you. And that's going to help you stay more accountable on your journey as a copywriter and not lose sight on the end goal. Tip number 2 is content versus cold outreach. So I know I talked about this a little bit before, making content for your dream clients, but seriously, this is something I wish I would have known. Cold outreach. So I broke it down yesterday. Cold outreach for me, it would take me about an hour to do a client, maybe less, maybe 30 minutes, right? No matter what, if I'm sending 100 messages a month, it's going to take me 50 to 100 hours to get a client to do all this outreach. Whereas compared to YouTube videos, I can film about 4 YouTube videos. I'm talking all the way from idea to script to film to edit to post in just 14 hours a month. 4 YouTube videos. And those 4 YouTube videos will work forever. Those 1 messages you'll send, as soon as you send that message, that's done. You're not getting any more clients from that 1 message. But from the 1 video, you have multiple opportunities to bring in clients. So you guys should not consider, but should probably double down on content as a client acquisition method rather than cold outreach or free value cold outreach. Now, don't get me wrong. I honestly think do both. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do both, see what works in my workflow, where I can do some free value outreach and make content. But if I want to maximize my time, if I want to make sure that I'm spending the most amount of time writing copy and not the most amount of time getting clients, then I need to post YouTube videos, because I will still be able to get clients. Maybe not instantly. Maybe I won't have control over the output, but I know that eventually my content will compound and bring me clients in over time. So that's why I want you guys to consider content versus cold outreach, and just understand what it takes to do cold outreach and what results you're getting it. Whereas you may, like with content, like I said, you may do the input now and not see any results, but over time it will pay off. Last but not least, the last tip I wish I would have known when I started copywriting was how to deal with imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is probably something a lot of you are dealing with as a copywriter. And what imposter syndrome is just basically not being confident, feeling that you are not capable of delivering. You're not capable of solving that problem. And there are other people out there better than you, more capable than you, and you just start to get into this like downward spiral of negative thoughts and self-doubt. And so if you feel that way, the most important thing you can do is take a step back, ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And if you can answer that why, go and do it. So for example, the other day when with my first paid copywriting client, I was sitting there doing the short form scripts, writing, talking about a subject that I wasn't too familiar with, Amazon FBA. And I'll be honest, I was like, hold on, these scripts aren't too good. Like, I'm feeling a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, my client's not gonna like this. There's so many other script writers out there that are better. These videos are gonna not perform good. I'm not a good copywriter. I don't think I can deliver for my clients. And I just went on this downward spiral of self-doubt. And eventually, I had to take a second, walk away from my desk, and I sat in a complete other room, didn't have my phone, and I just remember sitting there and asking myself, why do I feel like this copy isn't good? And instantly I could start naming things. Well, I feel like I don't understand the target audience enough. I feel like there's not enough actionable advice for the audience to benefit from this video and make them keep watching. I feel like the scripts are too long. And so I start naming these things off in my head when I'm asking myself why. And after sitting there for 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, I have all these things that I can do to make me more confident in my copy. Let me go back to my desk. Let me go do it. And I'll be honest, I only sat at my desk for 30 minutes and I woke up the next morning and started working on everything. But just asking myself why and realizing that I had the answers within myself and that I could go act really helped me get over that imposter syndrome. And so that's why I share that experience with you guys, because it is possible to get over it. You just have to ask why always. And that's why I brought it up earlier with one of the copywriting tips. Is actually tip number 9. But yeah, those are the 10 tips I wish I would have known as a copywriter. I know I probably talked for a little bit, but I again want to thank Ally for letting me hop on this video, telling you guys about how to get better at copywriting and just bettering your journey as a copywriter overall. If you guys want to check out my videos, I post a bunch of videos talking about my day-to-day as a copywriter, and sometimes I'll do some breakdowns, sometimes I'll do some tutorials. But again, just if you want to check out my channel, it'll probably be in the description below. Make sure to give Ally some love on this video. He's a really good guy, like I said. Love him. He's always been there for me. Just, Ally's a great kid. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope this was able to guide you in some direction to get you better. And yeah, that's it. Peace out.
I want to thank you for watching this video. Most importantly, I hope you were able to take something from this video. I hope you were able to learn something and you're able to implement every single step that's mentioned in this video by me and Marcus, and implement that into your copywriting journey to help you succeed. And I want to thank Marcus for taking the time out of his busy day to make a segment for myself and you in order to help you grow in your copywriting journey. And just because of that, go show him some love. Go subscribe to him. Go watch his videos. He's more copywriting based than I am, so you'll be able to get more frequent copywriting content from him. Go subscribe to him. Go show him some love. Go join his Discord group. That's a place where you'll be able to meet other copywriters, other beginning copywriters, and you can get feedback on your work, on your emails, on your landing pages, etc. So go and do that. Now, with this whole copywriting thing, with all these tips, you don't need to overthink the situation. Copywriting is a difficult thing, as of anything you're trying to learn as a beginner. Whenever you come across a roadblock, just take a step back, analyze your situation, find answers on the internet, find answers through me or Marcus on his Discord group, and push forward. Just trust your intuition and do your own thing. Peace.